Good afternoon, race fans. Welcome to the tricky triangle of Pocono with the Burnt Rubber Racing Series. It's Ninth Gear Broadcasting. Luke, or Kevin, how you doing tonight?
Man, I'm excited for this one, Luke. Pocono is always a fun track, no matter where we go, what cars we bring. And here in the Cup cars, that's no different. We have a short field, but I think they're all going to be competing tonight very tightly with each other. We saw a tight qualifying, and I think the race is just going to continue that trend. But we got a lot of racing ahead of us, Luke. How you feeling?
I'm not doing too bad tonight, Kevin. It's a very sunny afternoon out here where we're at. It's a very, very beautiful day, so I think it's going to be a nice afternoon for some racing out here.
Absolutely, I got to agree. And Pocono is just one of those tracks where it could go any way. It could be a caution fest or it could be green laps all the way through. We got what I believe is 75% fuel out here, so we will see some pit stops, whether those are under caution or green. That's to be determined, but I think there's going to be a lot of strategy involved, no matter if it's pit stops or not pit stops. So these turns are all different from each other, Luke.
Yeah, they are. It's a very, very difficult track. Another one that I just can never seem to wrap my head around. I feel like I'm saying that almost every single afternoon if it's not a super speedway.
Hey, yeah, I was going to say, you got Talladega down.
Talladega, I got that shit down pat. Daytona, two tops right there. Either way, we got a fairly short grid on the night tonight, Kevin. You want to go and get that thing going?
Yeah, absolutely. How about on your pole tonight is none other than Ty Mosley. He comes out here and he gets it done quite often with the Burnt Rubber Racing Series. David Da Silva going to be starting on his outside. Jonah Epsey and Travis Farmer is going to make up your second row. And your third row is going to be Brandon Devine and Alexander Morales. Morales. More Morals.
Morals.
More or less. Something.
Alexander, either way. Like we said, we don't have the biggest field of drivers out here tonight, but it was a very tight qualifying, so I think we're in for a very, very interesting race out here, and we're getting ready to round turn 4. And they're getting ready to go green out here for the first time.
Turn 3. There is no turn 4.
Sorry. What turn 4?
What turn 4?
We're getting ready to go green.
Pace car in. Here we go at the tricky triangle. It's green.
Flagman's going nuts.
They're 2x2 all the way through. And
Oof.
Mosley having some problems, some pacing issues maybe. Da Silva, though, he's going to take it the quickest in a turn 1. It's 64 laps out here tonight, 29 on fuel. So definitely going to see some pits out here.
Oh! Hard into the wall into the back. That's Epsey.
Espy,
sorry.
Yeah, that was a hard hit. He got into it with Morals a little bit, but
Morals,
both of them still
Morals
straight.
Held it together, though. Morals held it together, and he's still on decent pace. But
they got 2 fast repairs out here.
Yeah, so they got room to work if you need to take one, but obviously you want to hold on to those, especially when you get to these later sets of tires in these races. How many tire sets we got tonight, Kevin?
I'm not quite sure, to be honest with you, Luke. I'm reading maybe 4. I don't know. I know Cohen's in our chat. He might have a clue.
4 tire sets on the evening.
4 tires. Perfect. 2 fast repairs, 4 tire sets, 64 laps. Here we go. Lap number 2, and David Da Silva seems to have it figured out.
Oh! And as soon as you speak, Kevin, he goes right into that turn 2 exit wall.
Yeah, that wasn't just a little bit of a graze, Luke. That seemed like it was a hit.
Yeah, and he lost a lot of speed there.
Yeah.
He's going to make his way to the lead now. Maybe these tires starting to feel it a little early, maybe.
Maybe. As David Da Silva just gets way loose. Misses his braking point on turn 2 and just goes hard into the wall. But they're going through 3 right now. As Travis Farmer, now your leader by 0.2 of a second. They're in somewhat of a battle between each other.
I gotta ask you, Kevin, you've done a decent bit of racing out here on Pocono. If, let's say you were starting a race like this and you had, 4 sets of tires, would you be taking the burn them early strategy and try to coast it out on weak tires to the next tire set, or you saving it up a little bit and then trying to run it as long as you can?
I mean, honestly, you don't want extra tires sitting in your pit spot at the end of the night. So I think, you try to get at least 20 on the first pair, and then you take them as you go, and try to get through them as much as you can.
Oh, hard up into the wall again is Da Silva. Yeah. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, that was a hard hit, and he's going to get past there as a product of that.
And he must be feeling it. Yeah, like you were saying, I think it really is just about finding the balance out here in these tire sets. And I think De Silva's going to make his way into the pits now. He's bumped the wall one too many times for his liking. I think he's going to go in there, maybe get a new set of tires, maybe touch up the car a little bit.
Yeah, definitely not what you want to see if you're a David De Silva fan. Here early, he's going into the pits only on lap 4. Maybe trying to deal with some damage, maybe knocked his steering column loose. Something had to give because it's definitely an odd time to pit, but that's going to give the lead to Travis Farmer, but Ty Mosley's not too far behind. They're within, about 0.8 of a second of each other.
You see the back of the pack is a little split up here. We'll pull up the map real quick for you. Boy, the shape of this track always fucks with my head, Kevin.
And I just got information from Cohen that David is having issues with his wheel tonight, and he's shifting with his spacebar.
Well, goddamn.
So definitely in a less than ideal situation for David De Silva. Put up a good qualifying lap, but I mean, it seems like consistency just seems to be an issue for him to start this race.
Yeah, maybe gotta put your keyboard on the, I don't know, move your keyboard closer to you, or duct tape it to the back of your steering wheel or something so you can still use it as a paddle. I don't know. Just tossing air balls out here.
Yeah, let's take a look at the onboard of Ty Mosley per request. I mean, he's gaining time on Travis Farmer out here. He is not moving slow in the Reese's mobile.
Big fan of Reese's, Kevin?
You know, Luke, you asked me this about this time last week.
I think so.
Yeah, I like Reese's.
You more of just a traditional Reese's guy, or you like Reese's Pieces?
Oh, I'm just traditional. Fuck Reese's Pieces.
Not a fan of Reese's Pieces. Interesting.
Well, I mean, just not that good in my opinion. I will say, they're coming out with some new flavors, like fudge and I don't know, just different flavors of actual Reese's. And some of them are pretty good. I know there's a strawberry shortcake.
Sounds like a banger.
There's a peanut butter and jelly that I had. Some different options.
Yeah,
but yeah, Ty Mosley's absolutely moving out here. He's gaining time, but it's ebbing and flowing. And I don't know, he was about 4/10, now he's about 6/10, but before all that he was about 8/10, so he's gaining time, losing time, gaining time, losing time. So him and Travis Farmer on, gonna see who can fare these tires the best as the laps progress. We're only on lap 7 out here.
And I don't want to jinx it, but we've been green out here the entire time so far this duration of the race, so good to see that.
Yeah, I will say, other than Travis Farmer and Ty Mosley, it seems like, everyone's spread out enough that we shouldn't see a caution out here. The two of them, though, that's where it's going to get interesting, because they're only 0.4 of a second across from each other, so that could be a fight coming up here in the near future, but other than that, it seems like everyone has at least 8 seconds of spacing on each other. Take a look at the map. Or, well, I guess P2 and P3 only have 4 seconds, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, Brandon Devine is sitting in a pretty comfortable spot, too, in P3. He's actually doing pretty good at gaining time here, just steadily. He's not really falling off too much. He's just kind of staying around that 3 to 4 second range. But, he's right in that sweet spot if something does happen up there up front. Maybe, they get into it and one standing gets knocked off speed or something could really open up a window for him.
Yeah, and another guy that's, on pace, just not looking too good as far as the time goes, is David De Silva. He took that early pit, and, I mean, he's back, 36 seconds right now, but he's on pace. His car's looking quick again, and if he can keep those technical issues contained, I think he's got himself a, decent shot at pulling this back together and making his car a racing contender.
Oh, yeah, and look at Ty Mosley. He's starting to close the gap a little bit now. About under half a second off, and he's at least got to be in his draft now. Go across that long front straightaway.
Which turn is your favorite out here, Luke?
Fucking none of them. I hate them all. I get into every single one of them.
Turn 4 is your favorite, huh?
Yeah, turn 4 is my favorite at Pocono.
That gap has stayed about 0.4 seconds between the two of them. I mean, it's you know, it's steady racing out here. They're not being too aggressive yet, burning them off quite yet. But Travis Farmer just lost another 10th on entrance of turn 2, or entrance and exit of turn 2, I should say. So, you know, I have to start paying attention to who's gaining what on which turns. It seems like Farmer had turn 3 a little bit better there by about a 10th of a second.
Yeah, and that's really what it's all about in these weird, funky tracks. I mean, it's all about taking each turn better than your opponent. I mean, if you can just take it that much better, it really move you up positions here. But then again, we still got a lot of racing left, so I imagine these guys aren't wanting to race too hard. They don't really have much of a reason to this early on in this thing. Do you have any idea what our fuel situation is looking like tonight, Kevin?
Yep, we're looking at about 29 laps, give or take. I'm sure some could be saved, but, you know, I doubt it is being saved, so probably about 29, which, you know, would put it at a 2-pit stop. I'd imagine these guys aren't going to push it to the 29 point. If it's got to be 2 pits anyways, they're probably going to even those out to maybe 20, 21, 22, 42, 44, then end. I don't know. It's definitely going to be a strategy.
Yeah, and we'll have to see.
29 laps, but they can make it.
Gotcha.
Going through turn 2. Ty Mosley's gained about a 10th of a second since we last talked about it, Luke, and you know, Devine has also lost about 3 seconds since we talked about it, so he's lost some pace. De Silva's lost a second pace. And how about Alexander Morals? He's, I mean, right back there with David De Silva. Let's take a look at either of them. Yeah, that's not that big of a gap.
Keep in mind, De Silva is on a fresher car, essentially, I do suppose. Yeah, he is gaining time fast on Morals. He is on his bumper. Oh, and they get into it a little bit.
Uh-oh.
Boy, and
You think they're done?
I don't imagine so. Oh boy, maybe they are. As De Silva rips by Alexander Morals. Seems to be going very slow.
Way off pace right now.
Oh.
Let's take a look at last lap times and just see how off pace he is. I'd imagine it's in the multiple seconds. Yeah, I mean 3 seconds or 4 seconds off pace.
He's got to either really be feeling those tires or something, because he is
mechanical issues
severely off pace.
Yeah. And how about that? Farmer and Mosley put up the exact same lap time last lap.
Look at that. We'll switch back to the gap here as Mosley has now closed the gap.
Right as we say that,
yeah,
turn 2 opens it up a little.
So we're starting to figure out here which guys are leading out of these turns. Farmer's got a little more speed out of 2, I'd say.
I will say, I thought Mosley had a little bit of speed out of 2 about 5 laps ago, though, so...
It's tough to read.
I don't know if these guys are still figuring out the lines, or, you know, what's going on, but...
Yeah, it's tough to say. Well, I guess we'll see.
You gotta imagine there's some draft, too, so maybe Farmer's taking all these turns better, and Mosley's just able to catch through the draft.
And, you know, Mosley's... I will say, it seems he's closing the gap a little more than he has previously, and he's starting to close now.
Yeah, here they come up to turn 2. This one's been an exciting one for all the drivers. It's like Farmers could just get more exit speed. I mean, it's barely, though.
And, you know, it is, like we keep saying, very early on in this race still, so they really don't have too much of a reason to be racing super aggressive out here, but...
points, as you see Brandon Devine, the closest contender to the two of them in the back there. Leader's going to be closing in on Morals here soon, though. That could change the timing up a little bit if they have to go around them. Farmer now has opened this up back to a half-second gap.
It seems like it's just one of those back and forth things. Mosley gains for a couple, like a lap or so, and then Farmer pulls away for another lap or so. They definitely aren't racing super aggressive. I imagine they're just trying to keep their car in a good condition. Because I mean, they obviously have quite the gap between them and third place. And they're getting around Alexander Morals now, who is now down a lap.
Travis Farmer now really putting some time between the two of them, Luke.
And he's now up, closing up on a second now for Mosley.
That fuel window of when I took a guess as to when some of them might start coming in, I put it around 22 to 23. So, you know, people are probably starting to, you know, think about fuel. But obviously they could stretch another 10 or 11 laps.
Brandon Devine now almost 10 seconds back from second place now. Seems to have either fallen off pace or maybe on a bit of a saving strategy or something out here. Farmer now has just about closed a 1 second lead on second place. You see quite the separation right now in the on the map right now. So I imagine probably stay green out here for the most part. Just one can hope. Seems like the closest gap is still our leaders out here, P1 and P2, so we'll keep an eye on that one right now. And Farmer now closing about a 1.5 second lead on Ty Mosley.
Yeah, and De Silva's the next to drop down a lap, but he's got about 10 seconds of separation between him and the leaders, so nothing too concerning as far as that goes quite yet, but I'd imagine some pits are going to come here soon.
I hate to get back to our candy conversation, Kevin, but I'm more of a Kit Kat guy myself, personally.
Huh. Kit Kats, huh?
Yep. Kit Kats?
Yeah, Kit Kats are good.
Good reliable candy.
As far as chocolate, I was always a Snickers guy.
Hey, Snickers are pretty good. What'd you think of Paydays?
Paydays were good, but I couldn't just slam a whole bunch of Paydays. They were too much.
No. Oh hell no! I could only eat like one.
Yeah.
But that was one like if you wanted to eat it and it wasn't like it actually kind of filled you up a little bit. So.
Yeah. Eat it before going out and hitting the golf course. That's what I always did.
Oh hell yeah! Used to every day before
Breakfast
work.
of champions, they say.
Goddamn right.
That gap still sitting at about a second.
He was about 1.4 seconds back, so I mean he's closed it up a bit. Mosley's closed it up.
Hey Michael, good to see you.
Don't tell me that Michael Carroll guy's in our chat.
Unfortunately.
Oh no. Should we end the stream early? Just kidding.
You don't want to ask me that.
We like Michael Carroll.
But yeah, like I was saying, Mosley, he's down about a second, but I mean it's held at about the same time, give or take a tenth or two of a second, for the past 5 laps or so. So I mean, neither of them are really going anywhere. It's really going to be interesting to see which one of them decides to pit first and when it comes. Because I would have imagined they would have started by now. And oh wait, Joan Espy did pit. Morales now pitting. So they are starting it now at about 23.
Yep,
Which one of these leaders are going to try to drag it longer?
I don't know. It's tough to see. I mean,
Real quick, could you show last time and then best time? Let's see how much wear is being put on.
Last time. And
53.6 average.
Best time.
53.2. So yeah, they're losing about 4/10 of what they would have on those, their ideal perfect lap, perfect tire situation. So nothing crazy by staying out a little extra, but just that 4/10 of a second a lap could be the game changer out here. So it's going to be interesting to see, will they come in at the same time? Will they, split it up and one of them try to run long?
It's tough to see. What would you do if you were in second place here, Kevin?
I'd go now.
You'd go now?
I would have gone 2 laps
early?
ago. Yep,
Okay.
I would have gone 2 laps ago and take every little bit of advantage coming out that I can get.
Yeah, fair enough.
But, Luke, there's a reason I'm not out here racing. Well, a couple reasons I'm not out here racing, and one of them is because I don't really know what I'm doing. So.
Likewise, Kevin. We make it sound like we do.
I suppose. Morals has been in the pits for a, minute and a half.
He's going backwards.
Well, that could have something to do with it. Now going forward a little.
He had a brake check and he's rolling out.
As Morals comes out of the pits, though, the leaders go by and they're staying on another lap. I mean, the thought process here, I guess, is they could get it to a one pit race if a few cautions come out, I suppose, but I couldn't tell you. Really, I think they're just trying to maintain position and not do anything too crazy. Go too early and caution flies, God forbid, then you're screwed. Michael Carroll trying to give us the rundown on how to turn left, but last burnt rubber race he was in, he accidentally turned right, so I don't know how much of his word I would take.
And your leaders come into the pits both at the same time.
And it's going to be a race off pit road, I'd imagine. Farmer's going to win it because he came in first, but they're both taking all 4 tires. And Mosley's... Farmer is going to win off pit road, but it was close there, Luke.
It was. And now the question is, what does Divine do? It's definitely.
Look, I think he starts praying. To be honest with you.
Yeah, wouldn't be the worst idea in the world.
Oh, and Mosley's losing a lot of time.
Boy. Maybe opting to save a little.
Save what?
Save this new tire set? I don't know.
He just lost 6 seconds of pace.
Remember, Kevin, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. Gotta play the part. Regardless, though, like I was saying, I think Divine just hoping something happens out here and he can come out on top of that strategy, but he's got to come in here within the next 2 laps or so, or else he's going to be sitting there with an empty tank stuck on the track.
He's going to run it out as long as he can, it seems. Seeing a little bit of a, not a close battle, but we see the lap car of Alexander Morals getting close to Jonah Espy.
Yeah, and Travis Farmer's going to have a great deal of, distance between him and Ty Mosley once this cycles through, if it does. Cycle through green. It's looking like it's about 5 seconds of difference between the 2 of them. And here comes Divine. He's bringing in down to pit road.
And now the question is, how long is his pit time going to be? Can he try to get out here and pace with these 2 lead cars and maybe have a shot at a higher position than when he goes in?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be too close unless he takes just a fuel up or something, because he was about, I think it was like 12 seconds back when things started to cycle through. So I assume he'll come out in 3rd, same spot he went in, as the leaders are passing him now. Yeah, Ty Mosley now down 5.5 seconds on Travis Farmer.
But the Silva closing the gap on Divine, though. It's a decent kind of a close battle, but they're very spread out at the moment here after the pit cycle.
Yeah, Farmer's opening that gap even more on Ty Mosley. It seems like he's got it figured out. Just the most out here out of anybody, Luke.
Yeah, seems to have maybe done a bit more practice laps than the rest of the guys out here because he seems to have it figured out halfway through this thing. You see Farmer getting close to Morals again. He's approaching going down a second, or well, a fourth lap, I'm sorry.
Silva coming back into the pits.
Interesting. Ooh.
Ooh.
You see Morals getting up high and cutting down a little low there, and that almost looked a little bad, but
that had to have been terrifying for Travis Farmer.
Oh yeah. Kevin, Farmer's starting to kind of run away with this thing.
Yeah, it definitely seems that way, Luke. I mean, he hasn't figured out, and you know, with it looking like it's going to be a green flag race out here, I mean, he's just got to stay laser focused and make sure he doesn't make any mistakes, because I think if he keeps doing what he's done the first half of this race, there's no one that's going to catch him. It's now second lead here for Travis Farmer, Luke, and Divine 20 seconds back, SB 35 seconds back, and everyone else not on the lead lap. So we got about 28 to go out here. That math can't be right. No. Yeah, it's about right. I got about 28 to go out here, and it's looking like Travis Farmer has a great deal of confidence in how he's performing right now, because can he even see anybody in his rear view?
You know, we'll go and take a look here. Barely. Can barely
Not
see
in the turns,
mostly.
he can't.
No, sir. He loses them right about here. And we're under our first caution of the night, Kevin.
Oh boy, that's gonna change things up.
Looking around here, I'm not seeing anybody crashing. That might be just a shuffle to bring everyone back.
A competitive caution?
Possibly, if we can get word from. Tanner was in the
You want me to
chat.
go ask around?
Maybe if we can get word, yeah, that'd be nice.
All right, Luke, I got word.
What you got?
They're saying iRacing threw it for David De Silva spinning.
Interesting. So, let's go back.
Go back and take a look and see what happened to David De Silva out here.
This is divine.
Oh,
found it.
He's coming back on morals.
Tries to go around him and just gets super loose. But
yeah, oh,
wasn't a hard hit.
Not too hard in the wall.
Wasn't too bad. Either way, iRacing was being iRacing and deemed that caution worthy, and that severely shuffles this race up, Kevin.
Yeah, I think De Silva might even get back a lap on that. I'm not sure about that though.
Pacing around out here for the first time of the afternoon, I imagine we're going to probably see some pits.
Yeah,
yep, here they come.
Be able to get us. This should be able to get us to the end of the race now, Luke, on fuel. Just barely.
And we'll see out here. They're all making their way in. Everybody making their way through the pit. I think we see De Silva. Yep, De Silva's going to be on the lead lap, Kevin.
Yeah, and that's going to put 5 of them back out there in the lead lap. So, I mean, this restart's going to tell a lot about this race. We know, when push came to shove, Mosley wasn't that off pace with Travis Farmer. He got pretty off after that caution, but, I mean, we could see another battle between them.
And assuming we stay green out here for the rest of this race, I mean, just all these guys getting reshuffled, it completely just changes things. It's a complete different race.
Believe it or not, Jay, this is all the drivers. Good to see you, though.
What's going on, Jay?
Yeah, and Morrill's trying to pick up laps now. He was 4 down. They're going to let him by. Pace car with 1 to go here. He's going to be trying to catch back up before they go across the start-finish. Think he should be fine. They're going through turn 2 right now. Yeah, unfortunately, Jay, I saw Danica Patrick was invited to commentate the IndyCar race, or the Indy 500, so another race that Ninth Gear was snubbed on.
Absolutely furious that they didn't reach out to us first on. We were second.
Glad to know I'll be watching that race on mute, though. Thanks, Danica.
When do you think the call's coming, Kevin?
Soon, Luke, soon.
All right.
Pace car's in. It's going to be Farmer on the restart. They're peeling 3 wide right off the rip. Farmer gets out in front of Mosley, and we are racing.
3 wide in the back already off the restart. And holding things together now as they're going through the first turn. There's 24 laps to go out here, Kevin, and Alexander Morals. He is 3 laps down now, so he's sitting in a little bit better of a situation than they were before the restart, but look at those leaders, single file. Splitting up a little bit there, maybe.
Yeah, and you know, the last thing these guys want to do is fight for positions that aren't first place. But, you know, if you're Travis Farmer, you want to see that. Because 2 and 3 are pretty close to each other right now, and, you know.
Ooh, Ty Mosley shooting the inside.
He's
not going to have it. Out of the exit, Farmer still has the lead, but Mosley looking for the pass there early. Ignore what it says up there at the top, Farmer pit. I still don't know why on God's green earth it says that every time, but thought Espy looking at the outside now. Ty Mosley, and that's second and third place fighting, and that's exactly what Travis Farmer wants right now.
Yep.
Wants second and third to fight so he can run away. He's about half a second up on him now, but
John Espy makes the pass, and he's in second, though.
He's gaining, too. 2 laps to go. So you don't think these guys will be coming in again tonight?
I wouldn't believe so.
And I guess we'll see.
I mean, if we get another caution, I bet some will take some tires, but as far as fuel goes, these guys should be fine through at least 1 or 2 green-white checkers.
That's all assuming we stay green out here. Now that these guys are racing a little closer together, we're a little more prone to something happening. I know they were very, very spread out for a majority of this race, but now that they're a little closer together, a lot more room for error. third place racing really close.
Yeah, and you gotta wonder how much draft is in effect out here, as they're kind of helping each other down these stretches. To close in on Travis Farmer, who has just dominated this race. It'd be a shame if someone caught him.
Oh yeah, and he's really looked dominant out here the majority of the night. And the question is, can he, stand strong out here now that these guys are racing a little closer to him? And Jonah Espy closing the gap now. He's getting close to Travis Farmer. Watch a little bit of an overhead here, maybe, so we can get a sense of what kind of lines these guys are running.
Espy's just about made it to him. He's right on the bumper.
Oh yeah, Ty Mosley's not too far off him. 15 laps to go. They're starting to crank it up out here.
Oh, he's going.
Oh! A little bit of a bump there.
He's there, and he's not very patient.
No, and they're racing hard out here with 17 laps to go, Kevin.
But
Ty Mosley looking at the inside. He's going to have his nose at the inside going into turn one. Ooh, he comes up a little bit. Oh, and there's contact. Ty Mosley's loose behind him. Oh, and he hits the wall on the backstretch.
He's hard into the wall, but still racing is Travis Farmer and Jonah Espy.
And that's so unfortunate for Ty Mosley, who was looking really good all race. Gonna set him back to 5th place. And Espy getting into the wall. Once again, the question becomes, can Travis Farmer hang on out here with 16 laps to go? Now Jonah Espy, the one running on his tail. Divine, though, picking up time. He's about a little over 3.5 seconds back.
Oh, and the caution flies.
Oh, and Ty Mosley is red crashed. And he's going really slow across the front stretch. We're going to have to go back and look at that. The second caution flies. It was before.
Luke, this doesn't look like a crash to me.
No, Kevin, I'm not as lost as you are. Each one I go back to is just him creeping away slowly at the front stretch when it was thrown. It's thrown here, I think.
If that's what I think it is, that's not a very sportsmanlike play. What I'm seeing is Ty Mosley stopping his car to get the yellow.
Is
Is
that how
that what
that
happened?
works?
I don't know.
I don't know if that's how that works. Either way, that's our second caution now. That brings the field right back together.
Yeah, it definitely does.
You want to see? You want to go see if you can maybe get word on what the caution was for? And there's the pits, Kevin. I imagine they're probably going to be getting a little refresh set of tires. And Brandon Devine now going to be leading us off this restart, Kevin.
I'm back.
Welcome back, Kevin.
Back with some information.
Didn't even know you left. I kind of forgot you left, I'll be honest. I was talking
Well,
to
you told me to.
I know. I was talking to you when you were gone.
All right. Well, can you take a look? Hit your space bar for a second. I've been informed that we were correct, and hit the little up button on the chat right there.
Ty Mosley asked to throw a yellow. And then Ty Mosley was then
Well,
getting
I was just told. I was just told that Tanner came in and gave Mosley a black flag for the incident, but I suppose I'm not seeing that. So, regardless, the caution was thrown because of that.
Okay.
Apparently he couldn't make it into the pits, so he, I guess, stopped. And then the caution flew for that. So, definitely an interesting one, Luke.
Yeah, no doubt. But regardless, that's going to bunch a lot of the guys up, and I think that's almost going to put Morals near the lead lap here, Kevin. He's really close. He's
Probably put him down one.
That's going to put him down one. So, I mean, he's not in the worst spot now. He's made up his laps almost.
Let's see when everyone pit last year, Luke. Yeah, and the guys are all coming in and getting that fresh set of tires, except for Morals. So he's just focused on getting those laps back.
Yeah, no doubt. Just wanted to get back into this race. He's doing a pretty good job of it. I believe the pace car will be going in this time by, correct?
I believe so. It definitely seems a little spread out still.
Yeah, but they're no doubt trying to catch up out here.
Oh yeah, the 25 of De Silva and the 45 of Morals both hauling ass right now. And we are green here. It creeps up fast. We're used to those late restarts on the front straights, but not here at Pocono. And, oh, they're bumping. We're 3 wide for the
wide.
lead. Here comes Jonah Espy on the inside.
Oh, we're
Divine
racing.
in the middle. Farmer on the outside
Woo!
of it.
Oh boy, we are racing out here early.
And they settle back in single file for the front stretch, but my goodness.
That was a scary situation there off that restart, Kevin.
Yeah, no doubt. Jonah Espy, though, he's now your race leader, as Travis Farmer has now fallen back to 4th place. We know he has one of the best paces in the race. And with the leaders side-by-side racing like they are, Divine and Espy, that's going to give these guys some time. De Silva now up into P3. He's gaining.
And we see these guys back there behind him. 2 wide as well.
Yeah, and Travis Farmer trying to clear the guys behind him just so he can put himself in a racing position, and he does. He's half a second back on Jonah Espy with only 11 short laps to go. It's going to be interesting to see what he or the 57 car of Divine can do to catch Jonah Espy out here.
These laps are starting to go away, Kevin. Just 10 to go.
Yeah, 10 laps to go, and Espy has a 0.3 of a second lead. He's doing some mirror driving as of right now, I'd imagine. Oh, and those guys behind him gained a lot of time on that turn. Travis Farmer now side by side with Divine. And he's got a good run, a very good run. And here comes Travis Farmer. He takes it a little high through the turn. Give him some exit speed, and he is right there on Jonah Espy. With 10 to go, he has made it up within 2 laps.
Single file. All the way through P1 through 4 now.
Getting around is going to be the issue here, Luke.
Definitely is.
You know he has the pace to catch him, but catching and passing are 2 different things in racing.
The 2 wide situation going on back there for 3rd and 4th place between Divine and Ty Mosley.
Oh, here he comes. He's got a good run off the exit. Oh, and he's going to file in for another lap. Travis Farmer has closed it under a 1/10 of a second. Take a look at our leaders. He goes inside.
They're 2 wide now. They're racing tight. Getting into each other a little bit there, I think.
Yeah, a little bit of contact maybe, and Espy's going to hang on through that turn. Travis Farmer's going to have another crack at it, though, as he's still right there on his tail. With Ty Mosley now right there on his tail. He's been fast all day.
Still 2 wide for the lead out here. They're still side by side going into turn 1.
Oh, and Mosley looks low. Very tight race right now, Luke. This could go any way. See Travis Farmer taking a little bit higher of a line than the other guys. Seems to be working.
Oh boy. 7 laps to go and they go around this time.
Oh, and here's Farmer. He's going to be able to make a move on this straight. He goes low on Espy. He's got the draft behind him. He's got the run. Travis Farmer, your leader for a second. He dives it low. And he's going to be able to clear Jonah Espy. The man who's controlled most of this race now back into the lead where he's comfortable.
Back in the driver's seat. He's up there in the front. 7 laps to go out here. Now the question...
We saw this last time, though, and Jonah Espy didn't give him much room, I won't lie. Oh, but they're side by side behind him, bumping around a little bit. Oh, and the run's being made by Jonah Espy on the outside. He's got his nose in there.
You know, the question once again tonight, Kevin, I feel like we've been asking it, or we've been saying it all night. Can Travis Farmer hang on here? He's led most of the race, and he's leading out here with just 6 laps to go out here this time by, I take that back, Espy's going to lead with 6 laps to go now on that outside line. It's still a very close race for the front.
Yeah, side by side, Farmer looks inside here on turn 1. He's just not getting enough to clear him there. Oh!
Oh boy! Oh no!
Oh!
Espy in the wall hard. He gets into Ty Mosley.
He gets Mosley.
Oh! Comes up into Divine, and they're wrecking hard.
Oh man!
Oh no!
Espy goes for a trip on that incident.
Goodness. Let's see how that started. I didn't even really see how it started back there. Ooh.
Seems like Farmer just goes up into him. And Divine catching a stray on that one.
Goodness.
Espy just gassing through back onto the track. We could also take a look at Farmer's wheel.
That we could. Let's do that.
I think the steering wheels are a lot more. Whoa.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Luke is definitely going a little right there.
Just a little bit, and a hard hit to the wall for Jonah Espy.
Yeah, and Mosley seemed to ride him down, but did Mosley end up getting into that wall? No, he keeps it off the wall, so all in all, not bad for Mosley.
I think he's definitely got some front damage, though. Yeah, look at that. Yeah. Front right.
Yeah, he was pushing Espy around the track or Espy around the track for a good 100 yards there.
And Espy in the pits now, no surprise there.
Yeah, and you know, that's realistically probably good for Travis Farmer. He's going to be restarting in the lead here, and, you know, with it probably being, what, 3 to go out here when they go green, I mean, can't complain about that.
No, sir. No, sir. Might be 2 to go when we go green.
Yeah, I think you might be onto something. They seem to still be single file out here. Espy's still in the pits. Maybe he didn't have that fast repair?
Yeah, maybe not.
How about in 4th place now, Luke? The 45 car of Alexander Morals.
He's back on the lead lap, Kevin, and he's not in last place anymore. He's in 4th of this restart.
Jonah Espy, unfortunately, now down a lap. Clearing up the damage to the best of his ability. But he's back out on the track. I'm sure he's not exactly thrilled right now.
No, probably not. He is. He definitely took the short end of that one. So did De Silva. He took a hard hit there. Double file out here. Yeah, it's going to be 2 laps to go when we go green out here, Kevin. This race is on its last legs.
I'm reading we have infinite green-white checkered, so, you know, race time not a huge concern out here, but this is basically a green-white checkered, with it just being a short 2-lap restart. How about David De Silva?
Yeah, he's up into third place.
P3 right now. He was fast when he wasn't having technical difficulties. And we are racing out here. Travis Farmer with a decent jump, but Ty Mosley's right there. As Farmer's going to try to control what lines he can. And here comes David De Silva up into second place. He's holding the inside all by himself, trying to side draft his way up to the front. And he is clear into second place.
They just need to get around once to get that white flag in the air, Kevin. And
I gotta imagine the start's gotta be rough for David De Silva, him trying to get through the gears with his current
space bar. But hey, he's still in second. Jonah Espy fading off there.
Yeah, he's down a lap, so...
And Morrill's getting up into the wall there.
Morrill's, who's been a little shaky throughout the race, no doubt.
Through turn 3.
Continuing that trend. Going into turn 3. We're still green out here. They just got to get through the last turn. Then it's going to be officially your last lap.
Will we see it?
White flag is in the air. De Silva trying to get the run off into turn 1. He's got the speed. And
He's making the move.
Low on Farmer. Farmer stays high, gives him the room. And they're side by side.
They're bumping on the exit.
And De Silva, maybe not with the smartest move there, getting into him, because that's just going to give Farmer speed. It's about 0.2 of a second back.
It's going to give him a good
going
bit
into
of room
turn 2. De Silva blinking now.
De Silva really digging deep here to try to make up as much time as he can. He's got one more turn to make it happen. I don't think he's got it.
One last chance if you're David De Silva.
Farmer's just going to block the inside there.
Too much here.
Nope. No doubt. And across the front straightaway. It looks like it's going to be Travis Farmer out here. Getting her done. He led most of the laps out here, and he holds on.
He's wobbling around. Enjoying himself. David De Silva can't be...
Oh!
David De Silva, though, can't be too upset with how he finished. He had a good comeback there towards the end.
Yeah. And how about that win for Travis Farmer?
Yeah, definitely a dominant performance for him. It had its ups and downs there towards the end, but he was able to figure it out and get himself into victory lane here. And get some unofficial results pulled up. See how we're looking. Travis Farmer, David De Silva, Brennan Devine, Ty Mosley, Alexander Morals, and Jonah Espy.
I imagine we're going to see some victory shitties here across the checkered.
I sure hope so, Lou.
Opting for the slow approach. Good old starting burn out there. a
Yeah,
little
we
bit of
got
a side
everybody in
jump there.
VC. I'm gonna start with P3, Brandon Devine.
Hey, go ahead, bring him on in.
Hey, Brandon, guys in the booth, you got a copy?
I got a copy, yeah.
Hey, man, what a race that was. I mean, it looked like we were gonna stay green throughout the duration of that thing. About halfway through, I mean, you guys were keeping it straight. You guys were keeping it together. You fell a little bit off pace, but nothing crazy. And then the caution started to fly, and you kind of took advantage of that, and were able to get into a podium position. You want to talk us through how that race felt?
Um, well, I mean, I wanted to do good, obviously. This track's just an hour 30 down the road from me, but, yeah, I don't really know what to say about my green flag run. I don't know what was going on today. Just down the straight lines, did not have the speed. Don't know what was going on, trying to pick up what was left. Ty was pretty close, to, the win, but had to, unfortunately snatch P3 from him out of that last corner. But good racing all around. There was some stuff that I think was definitely questionable, but that's just how I feel. And I mean, uh, yeah, not
Yeah,
much to say. Today I just wasn't up to the pace today.
yeah, and just tell me if you don't want to talk about it. But would you want to talk about the questionable things we saw here tonight?
I think the only questionable thing is the 95 racing the 77 into the tunnel turn and quite literally cutting through the grass and just obliterating some of us. I mean, I know he's my team owner and all that, but there was some definitely questionable things. The most questionable thing to me was the fact that when he got out to the lead, he was like weaving down the straightaways almost as if this was like F1, dude. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, definitely some interesting decisions out here tonight. We saw some interesting ones as well. But looking forward, how do you feel about New Hampshire? You think that's going to be a good race for you and the team?
Um, from my experience, I've either had really good races at New Hampshire or really bad ones. It's a very flat track, and it's pretty unpredictable. There's a lot of things that are surprisingly unpredictable about that tiny little mile and a half track. So yeah, we'll stay skeptical for now, but hey, I at least know I'll be fast at Watkins Glen.
Yeah, absolutely, and we look forward to it. Congratulations on the podium finish out here tonight, Brandon. Anyone like to shout out before we get you out of here?
Um, I'm gonna shout out the McDonald's I'm about to go to. Shout out to McDonald's. I'm gonna not say which one for privacy reasons. But yeah, shout out to the McDonald's I'm about to go to. I'm gonna order a quarter pounder with no onions and a medium fry and wash that all down with a Coke. Come on, man, it has to be.
Will you be using the app?
God damn it. Yeah, actually, I will.
Absolutely, got to use the app. Get that. I heard 40% off recently on the quarter pounder meal. So,
Dude, I got 3 free cookies one time, because
oh yeah.
and yo, you gotta take advantage of the rewards. I hate to sound like a cheapskate because, dude, sometimes I use my grandma's Dollar General rewards and those come in clutch, dude.
Hey, absolutely.
Um,
Count the pennies and the dollars will fall. I think they say.
right. Yeah, thanks for the interview. I'm gonna get going.
Hey, absolutely. We appreciate it. Thanks, Brandon.
Yep.
That was Brandon Devine getting a podium finish out here, and he knows what he wants to celebrate with Luke.
Yeah, definitely not a bad order there. That's for sure.
No. And let's get in our second place finisher now. David De Silva shows he's on mute. Let's see if we can pull him in and get him off mute.
He just
Hey,
left to
Dave,
get something.
guys in the booth, you got a copy?
I think he just left to use the bathroom or get something
Oh,
to drink.
okay. We'll circle back to him. Let's get our race winner in here now, Travis Farmer, who really had a dominant race through at least the first half of it, and then was able to come in clutch and get it done at the end. Hey, Travis, guys in the booth, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, how about that race? we don't say this too often, but you dominated the first portion of it, and then the caution started coming and things got a little shaky. You lost a little bit of track position, but there at the end you were able to make it back up, come in clutch at the end, and get it done. You want to talk us through how that one went?
That was fun. That was an awesome race, man. I hate me and Jonah got into each other there. I was trying to side draft him, and we got into each other, and I guess he couldn't get apart. And no big deal. That was awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a super fun race for us to watch. It seemed like, we honestly thought we might see a green run to the end there when we were on about 35 or so, and nothing had come. And then the caution did fly. I'm sure, that wasn't, in your book, a good caution because, you had the gap, but you were able to hold it together and, fight the adversity of falling back to, I think it was P4 or 5 there on one of the restarts and make your way back to the front. Seemed like you dominated out here at Pocono. Where do you find the lap times that you're putting up?
A lot of practice, man. Me and Ty, we've probably done over 200 laps on this track, just practicing for the race. He's fast too. I don't know, he had a decent race. He did good.
Yeah, absolutely. He was up there contending with you there for a good portion of the race. Unfortunately, didn't end the best for him. But as for you, it went just about how you would want it to. Looking forward, though, we got New Hampshire next. Is that another track you think you'll be strong at, or what can we expect from the 9 car at New Hampshire?
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do a lot of practice. I'm gonna try to do a repeat of tonight, but we'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. And a repeat of tonight is all anybody can ever ask for. Got it done. Put on a show for us. Thanks for the interview. Anything you'd like to shout out before we get you out of here?
Old Tanner, GMS. Wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here.
Hey, absolutely. Getting it done for Griffin Motorsports, and a good night for you and the team. Congratulations, Travis.
All right, appreciate it, man. Love
Appreciate
the
it.
broadcast.
Hey, we appreciate it. Have a good one, man.
You too.
That was Travis Farmer getting it done. And before we close out the interviews, it looks like David is now off mute, so I'm gonna pull him over. I got a couple questions for him. He had an interesting race, to say the least. Hey, David, guys in the booth, you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Hey, man, how about that race? Definitely an interesting one, especially from the perspective of the 25 car. We heard from Cohen that you might be having some technical issues earlier on in the race. You had a good qualifying, and then it seems like the race kind of ran away from you there at the beginning. You were able to pull it together there at the end and get a P2 finish. You want to talk us through the roller coaster of a race that was?
Roller coaster of a race, more like roller coaster of a week. I started off the week where my monitor stand gave out and one of my monitors shattered, and luckily my other one was intact, so I was able to race this week. But then I ran a software update yesterday on my Moza wheel, and after the update, it never exited update mode, so none of the buttons work on the wheel. So I had to shift tonight's race using my space bar. And that was not too fun. And I was struggling quite a bit getting used to that. And I hit the wall multiple times while trying to reach down to shift, and it was not the best race performance. But as it turns out, what matters really is the end. So
yeah, and I gotta imagine Luke here is all too familiar with the whole monitor breaking thing. Don't get him on Madden anymore. Not a good idea, but
Nope.
as far as the software updates go, that's a shame, but you made the best of it and you were able to get into a podium position and get it done out here tonight. Looking forward, assuming everything's fixed on your end, you got New Hampshire coming up next week. How do you feel confidence-wise going into that one?
I have never driven New Hampshire before. I don't even think I own the track as of right this moment. Actually, wait, no, I do have New Hampshire, but I've only driven it on the IndyCar, so I'm not too familiar with it with the NASCAR. So I'm gonna be going in blind pretty much.
Like we just heard from Travis, the only thing you can do is practice within the next week and hope you can get it figured out. Not too far from
Yes, sir.
some of the other tracks we've ran, so hopefully you'll get it done. We'll be able to talk to you next week. But as for this week, congratulations on a great recovery and a great finish for you. And anything like to shout out before we get you out of here?
Like the previous time, my wonderful family for helping me out and my ups and my downs.
Yeah, absolutely. And we appreciate you coming by and putting on a show for us and giving us a good interview. So have a good one, David.
Yes, sir. You too.
That was David DeSilva getting it done with a P2 finish out here in what was a roller coaster of a week in his own words. But I think that's going to about do it for the interview portion of this race, unless Jonah wants to come in here and say a few words. Notice he just joined. Hey, Jonah, what's up?
Hi, I just want to say hi.
Oh, hey, man. How about that race?
That last wreck sucked.
Yeah, I was gonna mention it. Sometimes she goes, sometimes she doesn't, and
Yep.
it seemed like you got the ass end of that incident.
Yeah, and when I spun back up, hit the wall, it broke the rear suspension, so I couldn't drive back around.
Okay,
Lost a lap because of that.
So it wasn't a lack of a fast repair; it was more of a towing issue.
Yeah, I had to tow. I had to use my second fast repair.
Unfortunate.
I got you. An unfortunate end, but the pace was definitely there for you and the team. I mean, you looked fast throughout a good majority of it. Just unfortunate ending to your day.
Yeah, I had wheel damage right at the start. And then I think it was the first yellow when David spun. I used my first fast repair to just fix that wheel damage because I had like 6 minutes of optionals. So
I got you. Yeah, I'm just unfortunate on both of those incidents. Not much that could be done there, but like I said, speed was there, and it's not a bad look for the team when the pace is kept up. So
yeah.
Good talking to you. I think that's gonna about close out our interview portion of the race, Luke. What do we got coming up?
You're asking me what we got coming up.
Yeah,
New Hampshire.
I'm looking. I know we got New Hampshire with
Yeah,
Burt
New
Rubber,
Hampshire.
but as far as the week goes, we got 2 races tomorrow night with R&R, both super speedways, I do believe, or not super speedways, both North Wilkesboro, I do believe. Then we have some speedway race with MMS on Saturday, and then Talladega with CMS on Sunday. So an exciting weekend coming up. That was all started off here tonight at Pocono. Those are your official results presented by Ninth Gear Broadcasting up there on the screen now. I think that's about all we got. Tanner, you want to add anything in about what's to be expected here in the future with Burnt Rubber?
For sure. New Hampshire, I do plan on racing it next week, but might be moved. Just to kind of go more easier races out the way before we start going checking, and well, we got a little bit before we go to playoffs, but that'll be a great time. So push to get more drivers. And then we have a special way we do that just so that everyone's equal in points. Everyone could still have a chance. That's the whole list of how we fix that there. But yeah, man. If we do Hampshire next week, it sure will be fun. But we got a lot of cracking down to do on certain select few of people. And we're gonna be trying to change up the way everything's going. The past few races, some people just drive in that like they never drove before, so it's time to start cracking down again. But anyways, that'll should be it.
Yeah, absolutely. We're excited to see what's to come. Whether it's New Hampshire or a different track next week, I'm sure we'll be there, and I'm sure it'll be good racing. Other than that, though, Luke, you want to close this out?
Yeah, big thanks to the drivers for coming out there and putting on a show for us, and big thanks to the guys for putting it on, and a big thanks to all the viewers for coming out here watching. We'll see you all in the next one. Good night, race fans.
Peace.